Hello, this is Dr. Peter Swanz with Vital Force Naturopathy and drswanz.com. I've had quite a few people reach out to me and asking for an update on my COVID antibody status, and I'll let you know I did retest in June and the antibodies continued to be positive. So that's 7 months out from the original infection. So I'm very glad about that. I'm going to retest again in September at 10 months out, and I expect they'll still be detectable and positive then. It looks like, based on all the data that we're seeing, the antibodies are lasting at least a year, and we don't have a lot of data out past that because it's really been going on for about the past year. So the other thing that looks really fantastic is that the infection rate from the Delta variant and the other variants does not seem to be impacting people who have recovered from COVID in any significant way. Now, we are seeing cases breaking through in the vaccinated, but fortunately, those who have recovered from COVID seem to have a much more robust level of protection, and that's awesome. Now, one of the things that I want to mention based on that information, there's a kind of been a push from the beginning that even if you've recovered from COVID, you should get vaccinated. And what I want to say is there's absolutely no clinical data to justify that stance. There's nothing showing that there's any benefit from vaccine or vaccinating on top of recovery from the natural infection. There was a study that looked at antibody activity in the blood of people who had already recovered and then were vaccinated, and after the vaccine was administered, there was an increased level of antibody activity in the blood. But that doesn't correlate to any extra protection. There's no data showing that this extra level, this extra boost from the vaccine actually benefits the individual in any way as far as contracting symptoms or passing COVID on. It really just looks like once you've recovered from COVID, that should be good enough. I think this is an important thing to be aware of, especially when we look at the adverse effects of the vaccines, where people are having trouble. There is inflammation cascades being caused. There is issues with cardiovascular disease, myocarditis, and that looks to be particularly more problematic in the young, who really have the least amount of risk from COVID itself. And so we've got to weigh the benefits and the negatives when we're considering what's the right thing to do. And I strongly believe there is nothing beneficial once you've recovered from COVID in getting the vaccine. There's nothing that's been demonstrated that shows a benefit there that would outweigh the potential risk. There's no increased protection. You're already protected from the natural immunity. There's no increased protection that's been demonstrated. There's no need. It has not been shown. And then you're still potentially subjected to the risks from that new technology. And it does seem that the individuals who get vaccinated post-recovery have a harder time with the vaccine and the adverse effects. So that's what I wanted to share. I think it's an important message, and I just want to share it with you. And I will make a video in September after I test my antibodies again to let you know where they stand. I anticipate them being positive. And I'm grateful for everyone watching this video and participating in these conversations. This is a really important topic, and we need to be able to talk about it without political spin, without judgment, without, personal beliefs and fear. We've just got to look at the data and see what's happening. So that's what I wanted to say. Again, thanks everyone for watching and following along. You can always check me out at drswanz.com/connect, and that's how you can find me on all the other social media stuff. So as always, thanks again. Peace, love, and health always.